Dr. Charuta Mandke.
Thank
And
you.
she's the guest of honor and the guest of my day and the week. And we have so much to talk to her about. So, those who have missed her introduction, she's a mentor, she's an associate professor at Cooper Hospital, she's an eye surgeon. She's also been a COVID relief and a health worker during this very tough time. So, my question to you was that if I keep winking at all these good-looking guys and all that, will it harm my like, would that be a problem, or would my eyes be heavy? What do you think?
No, I think you should wink, but don't use the same eye every time. Wink with both eyes.
Acha, one right and one left.
Yeah.
Now these lockdown times, whoever's passing by is
So,
going to
so
think that
both the muscles get used.
acha, okay, so both. So then I'll be okay. I won't need to
Yeah.
visit you.
And you'll have double chance.
Double chance. Okay. So let's get a little more on a serious topic now. This was serious enough. So I wanted to ask you that, uh, uh, Sauta, in this entire uh, pandemic, you have been quite an active worker. You have not only supplied so many,
So
kits
the
and
experience you said what was the experience, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I was not a frontline worker at all, just because I'm an ophthalmologist. And
Hmm.
also, for a little while, initially, when the lockdown started, I was ill myself. But
Hmm.
when we realized that so many of our friends who were on the front lines were not getting the initially, there was not enough supply of the protective equipment. So we started donating some things with the help of one of my friends' foundations called Seva Sayog Foundation and my family,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we could donate lot of personal protective equipment, those space suits kind of things, and
Hmm.
also the N95 masks and snacks. Then we were from June, July, August, September. We gave evening nutritious snacks to the healthcare workers because none of these shops
Right.
and restaurants were open. So in the evening they would not get. Canteens might be shut sometimes. They would not get something. So we gave them some fun, delicious. Sometimes pizza,
Right.
sometimes protein stuff.
Right.
So that really was good because and even the nurses. And then now we have made more than 2,000, maybe I think 14,000 meals we had given, and about 1,000 scrubs. Those scrubs the doctors wear, so that they are not exposing their families when they go home. It was really good, and so many people came forward to help us. So
Right.
that was it was. I'm thankful that we were able to do that.
Yeah. So, firstly, now since we have quite a few people online, first let me congratulate you, or shall I say, great going. I want to congratulate that you are one of the first people to get the vaccine, and that's why you are this absolutely wonderful guest on my show today. So, before you take us through the process, tell me how are you feeling, and how was the entire experience for you? You did it got it on the first day.
Yes,
So,
it is the world's largest ever vaccination drive because in India we are such a huge population, and so I was frankly I was not ready on the first day to take the vaccination even though I'm a doctor. And as all doctors are also human beings, so we had our own worries, fears, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so then. But I'm feeling fine now, as expected. I spoke to you yesterday, and I did have, fever, myalgia, and some
Right.
uh, very,
Yeah. Yeah.
body ache,
Yeah.
headache, and I still have a little pain on the injection side. But otherwise, I'm perfectly fine today.
Right. Right.
So I think that much is expected,
Okay.
and that's what most of the people who I know in the hospital felt. But other than that, no bad side effects for anybody.
Right.
So
Right.
it's really positive first day, and
Yeah.
I must say that the government has really done a good job. Especially I work in Cooper, and I took the vaccine in Cooper Hospital in Mumbai, and they have done such a great job. Everybody has this bad idea, like a bad impression about BSC hospital or something like that, and I worked in them for 12
Yeah.
years. and they had such a great arrangement. There was social
Right.
distancing. It was very
Right.
well organized, safe.
Hmm.
They were prepared for any eventuality. They gave you
Hmm.
the card, and you know that you got vaccinated at this time. They kept you under
Hmm.
observation, and so
Yeah.
so it was wonderful. I was very proud and impressed with
Yeah.
the arrangement. Definitely,
Okay.
the morning when the call came on
Right.
Saturday morning that your name is
Yeah.
on the list and you have
Yeah.
to go to Cooper Hospital to get vaccinated, and I was
Hmm.
surprised because I thought, being an ophthalmologist, maybe they would put us,
Yeah. The,
on the second or third day, but
yeah.
a random selection of all the healthcare workers, frontliners,
Hmm.
and essential
Hmm.
services, because we are in these
Hmm.
hospitals every day
Right. Right.
and we are exposed. So
But
so then I just decided that if we don't take it, how will
right.
anybody
Right.
else take it? Because there's
So
so
that's
much
quite a
at
brave
stake.
step that you have taken, because people are literally wondering whether they should or should not go for it. People have been, yeah, very skeptical on taking this vaccine, and you have actually, made the entire, taken the plunge to go to school. So, did you have a choice at all?
Well, actually, yes. So we don't have a choice as to which vaccine will be available at a particular center,
Hmm.
but we do have a choice whether to take the vaccine or not. So I did ask because I had some plans on that
Hmm.
day, and definitely if I took the vaccine and if I had some side effects, those plans would get cancelled.
Hmm.
And I was not really mentally prepared on that day. So I asked them when they called me that if I don't take the vaccine today, uh, will I be able to take it on Monday or Tuesday? And they said then your name would go off the list,
Hmm.
and then you would again have to re-register, and then it would come after a few weeks. And one day or another, I have to
Right.
take it. And so
Right.
I
Right.
decided to go ahead. But basically, if somebody chooses not to take the vaccine, it is not compulsory.
Right. Right. So that is not compulsory.
No.
So what is the order of it? Like people who are working in the hospital, they also get it, like the
So
cleaners and
basically, right now the order is that all healthcare workers in the front line,
hmm.
all the essential services, like even the sweepers, the ayabais, the ward boys, even the BMC, kachra walas, who have been working as essential workers, they are the frontliners, and they have always put themselves at risk. So all of them, then the ward officers and other healthcare workers. So all of them right now are registered for the first phase of the vaccine, because I think they are at risk because they are always exposed. So they want to protect them, and then the next phase will be for the senior citizens 50 years and above, with some comorbidities, then the
Okay.
senior citizens without comorbidities,
Is
and then for the general public.
okay. So if I've done an interview with you and I butter you up, you can't fast forward a process for me. Not possible.
I'm so sorry that I can't even pass forward the process for my own relatives who are not, part of this phase. I can't deny that I have become very, famous for that. That people are trying to butter me a lot, and
But I've done an interview with you, yeah. Now this is like highest form, yeah. You're on my show and all, chai with Sai. Now what else, yeah? Plus
exactly.
you, plus after all this, we'll be going out. I'll be taking you out.
Yeah, only after your vaccine.
Only
But
after my vaccine.
so that's not possible right now. They are very clear on the on this plan. But if I mean, I'm sure other Poonawalla and biotech, I mean the Serum Institute and biotech are busy, getting out vaccines fast, and I'm sure it will be in the private sector soon enough, and it will be available at cost to whoever want to take it. I'm hoping for that, so that maximum number of people can take it. But and the app, everybody is asking all the time that how can we register, how can we register. So basically the CoWIN app will be the app on which everybody can register, but they haven't released the app yet. Now I want to tell you that there are a lot of fake apps which have come up to get, and they are basically getting your data. So please don't register on any fake CoWIN apps. The official CoWIN app hasn't been released to the general public yet. So when that releases, everybody can register, and then according to their vulnerability level, they will be called to the specific centers. And I'm hoping that the vaccine is available, for to buy. I mean, for to buy privately in pharmacies soon too.
Yeah. So right now it won't be, of course, because it's only going to be in hospitals when you register.
Yeah.
Oh God, echoing again. So, what made you take this entire? How come you had so much faith? Did you want to set an example?
Yes, that's one. But frankly, I was as scared as the next
Yeah,
person
that's what.
because
Yeah.
just the day before that, we were getting very negative, news from different countries saying that this
Right.
happened, that happened, and and then the Indian vaccine has come out very fast and stuff like that. And so I was in fact wondering, if I get a chance, am I going to take it? But when the day came, I just spoke to my mother, and she said, "You're, of course, you're a doctor, and if you don't, then how will anybody else?" And she gave me that little boost. So I look up to both my parents. So then I was just, yes, I have to do it, because if I don't, then how will
Right.
anybody else take it? We doctors don't actually set the standard and lead in this, then the other people will not have the confidence to take it. I mean, some doctors also felt, are doctors going to be made the guinea pigs? But in science, there are many things unknown, and unless somebody takes the risk and the first step, I mean, nothing in science, it
Has come
wouldn't have
forward.
made such progress in such leaps and bounds. So I guess now that there people are having more confidence within one day itself, I think more and more people will be ready to take it, and especially senior doctors have taken it. So once that happens, then their juniors automatically get the confidence to take it.
Because there are lots of questions around it, and maybe there are a few people who've already asked about the side effects. That's the first question in everyone's mind. Sharda, what side effects did you actually experience yourself personally?
So the injection was painless. It was given
Okay.
very nicely by the sister
Hmm.
and the nurse, and
Hmm.
so that was painless. And then in the morning I got the injection. In the till evening I was perfectly fine. So I was thinking, to myself that this is really
Amazing.
fun, and I'm going to go and party and stuff like that. But then in the evening I had some not party in the sense. By the way, you're not there's no consensus, but you're not supposed to have alcohol and all that, because that brings your immunity down. So preferably don't drink when you're being vaccinated and for a while after that. But we can come to that later. But
Yeah, we'll talk about later.
but the thing is that by evening I started feeling a little bit chills, and then I started having a headache, and my body started aching, my knees started paining, and then I knew that some of the symptoms are normal. So all of the symptoms that I felt are normal. About 50% of the people did have them, and I took a crocin, and then I was able to sleep quite comfortably. Also, I had been told that if I have any symptoms more than this, or if something is not controlled by a regular crocin or paracetamol, that I should report it and go back to the hospital. So I was very sure that that's what I would do. And then the entire next day, so maybe 36 hours, I suffered this, and I was a little washed out. But today I'm perfectly fine. And actually, if you do have a good immune response to the vaccine, which is what we want, you would have a few symptoms. So having symptoms is not a bad thing.
Okay.
You even want a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the concern is that it's come out too fast. They don't know what people are getting into.
So I can. So I'm not an expert. Frankly, I'm not an expert on vaccines, but I can tell you this much as a doctor that there are two vaccines, and everybody is wondering about these two vaccines. Just because the one vaccine is based on another vaccine which is already has reports in peer reviewed journals, so they have a little more confidence in that. And the other vaccine, they are still not published in journals, so people don't have a lot of confidence in that. But both vaccines were given on Saturday, and the adverse effect rate is very low. So they will come out with the published report soon. And I think doctors have taken both the vaccines, so that should generate more confidence in it. Also, safety parameters seem to be there too, so they are pretty safe. Efficacy is yet to be seen, and that will only be seen over time how efficacious both vaccines are comparatively. But I think even if we have more than 70% efficacy in both vaccines, we should be. It's good because the more number of people take it, the more herd immunity. That means immunity for everybody.
That was my next question to you. Does it count then? Yeah.
Yes, so actually, India already some seroprevalence surveys have been done, and India already seems to be having certain amount of herd immunity. But and giving vaccine to also 30-40% of Indians itself. So how people are wondering that how can we vaccinate 1 billion people? It's going to take a year and all that. But even if you are able to vaccinate the first 40%, this will definitely put us on the path to more herd immunity, and that itself will bring down the rate of infection and not give us any more waves. And also the people who are vaccinated may get the so it's not a perfect, nobody knows yet, nobody knows a lot of things about COVID. So you may get COVID, but it will not be a serious disease where you may need ICU and you'll be so sick and you may have the various side effects. So you may get a more flu-like infection, because even if it's less efficacious.
So even when taking the vaccine, you have a chance of getting it anyways.
Yes, so that is one very important point that you have brought up. That even if I have taken the vaccine, doesn't mean, and even if I take the second dose, it doesn't mean that I should be any less cautious. Because one thing is that I am still able to transmit the disease to somebody else who I love at home, or to my patients, because I can be a carrier, and though I may not get the disease, and so I must always take care to wear a mask and sanitize and all the other precautions that we are taking. If I do get the COVID virus, it will be a very mild disease like the regular flu or something like that. But there is no guarantee that I will not get the disease after the vaccine, because it's not 100% guarantee.
So getting the vaccine is can still keep you asymptomatic and you can still be a carrier.
Yeah, you can be.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
See, because we are far away from 100% vaccination. So unless majority of the population is vaccinated,
Hmm.
it won't happen. So we have another year of wearing masks, is what I would say.
Another year of wearing mask.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a
At
long
least
time.
when you are traveling in public places, crowded places, things like
Yeah.
that. When you're going out with a few friends or something like that, maybe once everybody is vaccinated,
Hmm.
it will be done. But more and more studies will come, and we will know more about it.
Yeah. What one can do to encourage people to take the step which you have? What is the one thing that they can actually do?
What you are doing is encouraging people to take the vaccine, because you are bringing it to the public that somebody has taken the vaccine and she is fine, and she is willing to take the second dose also, and that itself will encourage a lot of people who are watching this. So thanks to you. And the other thing is that just by knowing that there are people who have already taken the vaccine and it's all going to be fine, and we are going to fight this terrible COVID-19 which has befallen us, is motivation enough for more people to take the vaccine.
Hmm. There is a certain section of people who have not believed that there is anything out there. They're saying this is all a fear psychosis, things that are created, lots of forwards, lots of WhatsApp, lots of hearsay. And you have been there, you've seen it with your own eyes. What is
So
actually
if you
taken place.
ask any doctor who has actually worked in a COVID hospital, I mean, I would be really surprised if any doctor who has worked in a COVID hospital would say that this is a falsely generated fear. So
Yeah.
unless somebody is in the position that doctors or nurses or the healthcare workers have been in, and have felt that fear, I think it's very unfair to call it either this or that. But I have lost two close relatives to COVID, which today who would have been alive. And so there have been people who have passed away. They may be vulnerable, they may have had other diseases, they may have been older, but they would have been alive if it was not for COVID. So, and there were doctors who have lived away from their families for fear of giving the disease to them. There have been patients running helter skelter, giving trying to get the drugs and. I mean, I do not feel, definitely, I do not feel at all that it was fear mongering or there was nothing to be fearful about. Uh, Being fearful and just doing nothing about it and sitting was never an option. I mean, we had to do something about it and we had to take care and do whatever we could. But the fear was real, and luckily India has done a great job of we haven't got the second wave as bad as some countries have, and we are
Right.
well on the
That's
way
right.
to vaccinations.
Yeah.
So that's something very positive.
So we have a question which is asked: how have you decided? How is it decided who gets vaccine? Because there are two. So is there a way that who gets the two vaccines? Is there any decision on that, or there's
So
no choice?
right now there is no choice. Like if your name, I am a doctor, I am registered. My name came up, and I was told to go to a particular hospital, and that hospital has a particular vaccine.
Hmm.
So that time I don't have a choice to choose which vaccine I will get, but I can choose not to take the vaccine if I don't want to. And then one day the vaccine will be available in the open market, and probably then you can choose which vaccine to take.
So any idea like when it's going to be available to
Yeah,
cover the
well,
general market by the
enough
government?
data hasn't been published yet. Because, I mean, it's also in the trial phase that they have released the vaccine for emergency use. But once they have vaccinated the healthcare workers and the essential workers, then they will. That is my thought. That then they will, release it into the market. But I'm not very sure if they manufacture that much, they could.
Right. Right, of course, yes. So that's anybody else has any questions for doctor, she'll be happy to answer. I think you've got a lot of information. There's another one. Hi Aisha, does the vaccine have any antibodies? She's
So
asking.
basically, there were some questions come to me that if you take the vaccine, will you be contagious? Is it the virus in the vaccine? So
Right.
first and foremost, there is no live virus in any of the vaccines, so you are not going to infect anybody else because you have taken the vaccine. The second thing is that the vaccine doesn't have antibodies. The vaccine creates a reaction in your body which generates, so your own body generates the antibodies against the virus, and these antibodies then later on, if you are infected or exposed to the virus later on, these antibodies already have a memory that this is the virus which we know we have to fight against. So they create this immune response or fight against the virus very early on, and then they can that's how we fight against the virus with this strong immune response, and we will not be infected by the disease.
Okay, Aisha also asking if there's a person who has recovered from COVID, does he also need to take the vaccine?
Yeah, so let's this is a good, she's given a good opening to talk about people who should and should not take the vaccine also. And I would like to say there are some contraindications to taking the vaccine. Being infected by COVID beforehand is not a contraindication to take the vaccine. But if you have a current COVID infection, if you are infected with COVID right now, you are ill or you are hospitalized, then you have to defer the vaccine. Or if you are hospitalized for any reason, you can defer the vaccine. Or if you are on steroids for certain diseases, you may not have the best response to the vaccine. If you are under treatment for immunological diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, cancers, then the vaccine timing has to be customized for you. So you'll have to take it after your doctor's advice. There are some contraindications. First of all, the vaccine has not been proven safe under the age of 18 and for pregnant women or for lactating women. So we aren't given that vaccine to them. The second thing is that if you are immunocompromised, you have to take advice about it. And if you have had any strong allergic reactions to other vaccines, or later on when you take the second dose, if you've had an allergic reaction to the first dose, then
Right.
there is a contraindication to the vaccine because the allergic reaction can be strong. But other than that, if you have had COVID and you have recovered and 1 month has passed, then you can definitely take the vaccine.
Okay, okay. Thanks, thanks. Hi, Anjali. Thank you for that. She said, Usha Mahajan, she said good information. And it is a lot of information. Those who haven't turned up have missed it, but it will be on my Facebook for life. So they can actually anytime access the information that you've given them.
So one more question that I had was that does the vaccine have two doses? So yes, the vaccine has two doses, one dose, and then 4 weeks down the line is going to be the second dose, and then after 2 weeks of the second dose is when you will have the complete immune response to the vaccine. So after 2 weeks of the second dose would be when you could say that you have enough antibodies that the vaccine is going to generate in you. So it's still then that you have to still be ultra careful as you have been. And I would say that there were some people asking that if after giving the vaccine, if we still have to wear masks and we still have to sanitize, then what is the use of taking the vaccine? Like how
Right,
different is
right.
it? So
Yeah.
again, that was a question. But again, I would like to say that until maximum number of people are vaccinated, that is going to be the case. So
Right.
I would encourage most people to take the vaccine so that we reach a day when the when the disease has become so mild, it will be like a general flu, and then we can move about fearlessly.
Okay, okay. That's all. Hi, Rima. Thanks. Rima said this is really important to share and thank you. So
Thank
she's
you.
thanked you as well.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, so a lot of people have, said thank you to you, and I'm sure there'll be many who will watch later. Is there any message you'd like to give the viewers, Charuta? Because, having you on this show was like quite a. I know a lot of people wanted to interview you, and I got it first. So,
Yeah, yeah. After you, I was not thinking of doing any interview or anything. But after you, suddenly just said, "Shall we do a live?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" With Kainaz, it will be fun. It's always fun, and I want people to know about it because I got so many questions. I couldn't answer all of them because I was sick for a day. And I was like, okay. And then somebody else said, can you do, this or can you do? I said, okay, I'm doing with Kainaz. So, you were
yeah.
first.
So
But
Geeta Bhansali has said thank you to both of us as well.
thank you for watching. But
Sheila Williams is there as well.
I think the most important message here is that if I could take it, so can you when the time comes. And everybody must take it. It's not only for ourselves, it is for all of us. So
Yeah.
it's the safety profile is very good. And for the number of all my friends all over the world who are doctors have taken the vaccine already, and our turn has come now. India
Yeah.
has done a great job with getting out so many vaccination centers going.
Biggest
So
question was
actually,
vaccine,
we
yes.
should have a lot of confidence in the Indian vaccination program because India has developed, manufactured, and done so many huge vaccination drives and eradicated diseases that I think we are already well equipped to do this. And
Yeah.
since our vaccines are indigenous and have to be maintained only from 2 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius, not minus 80 degrees Celsius like
Right.
the Pfizer vaccine,
Like the
that,
Pfizer, right.
that there is a less chance that the efficacy will be compromised. And that's why we should have, confidence and get ourselves vaccinated whenever our turn comes.
So, one of my friends, Rima Roy, she's in the US, and she asked any guidance for parents that you have. Rima, if you're watching, that's for you.
Guidance for parents when it
For
comes to
parents.
vaccine.
Yes, for the parents, any guidance. Because she's a
So,
mother of two lovely boys. And
yeah, so the vaccine isn't, for as of yet, the safety hasn't been, documented for children below 16 to 18 years old. And now, today itself, I heard that they have started giving some of the vaccines for even 12 years old in the Western countries.
really,
But that is also under trial. So, I would say for India, right now, under 18 years old, we are not going to vaccinate right now. So that still remains a whole generation where they are not going to get the vaccine, and therefore when they are exposed, they will still be able to get the disease. But in children, as we have seen, the disease is not as strong. Many of them can fight it off. They have a good immune response. Having said that, whichever of the population is able to get the vaccine, if we all take the vaccine, there will be herd immunity, and so the infectious disease quotient in the children also will go down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, you're saying that the herd immunity is the most important part of it.
Of course.
But as you know, people will want the other people to push ahead first and say, let's try it on them, and we'll
That's
just be a
why.
part of that herd.
That's why we so
That's
now we
very
have
true.
pushed forward, and you can
Yes,
after 4 weeks I will tell you how I'm feeling after the second
yes,
vaccine, and because that is
absolutely.
supposed to have a little more side effects, little more
Oh, it is.
reaction. So yeah, I mean that's what they say. I mean different people have different responses, but so I will tell you after 4 weeks what happens, and then once everybody is then you're confident and comfortable, then you can go ahead and take the vaccine.
So when you went to the center, you were comfortable. They made you wait for half an hour. Whatever we've heard is
Oh,
true,
it was
basically.
wonderful. So I can just quickly take you through the process. I went to the center because I worked there. It was, it was in the same hospital. But there were other people from other departments, essential services, who had also been, on the list. So they did a registration first. They checked your Aadhaar card, and they made a registration. They put a time for you. You went to the designated booth. The sister, the nurse who was supposed to give you the vaccine, she gave you a perfect explanation as to which vaccine you were going to get, and that she would be giving the vaccine. It would not pain, and that you should sit in the observation center, and if something happens you should tell them, and later on also if you have any symptoms, you can come back or you can call the helpline. And after the vaccine was painless, and very well given. Then there was an observation center where we could sit, you were observed. The entire anesthesia team was available to manage anybody who had severe side effects. Nobody did. And also the next day, I was very pleasantly surprised that the BMC office called me and asked me how I was doing, did I have any symptoms, and did I want, whether I was doing fine. So that really felt good. So I think they have, the system in place, and we should all have confidence in the system.
Right, right. Thanks, Chavda. Aisha, yes, Aisha, when the right app comes, Chavda will share it with me and I shall
Yes,
share it
sure.
on my page as well. Chavda, that was lovely. Thank you so much. And I think everyone has totally enjoyed it. Rima has thanked you as well and all the medical frontline workers. And there are so many people who are grateful for the great job that you have done. While we were in four walls, you were out there, and lots of people like you who have been out there and done so much of sincere dedication, put their lives at risk. So this is a good opportunity to thank everyone, and thank you for being here and sharing so much of information, inspiring chats. I've been totally engaged.
I'm so happy that you, gave people the opportunities to ask these questions, because now when anybody asks me any of these questions, I'm going to point them to your recording
Perfect,
so that, they
perfect.
will get all the information in
I
one
think
place.
I think we've covered a lot of it and most of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Most of it. Great. Thank you so much, Charuta, and I will see you on the other side.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Bye. Thank you everyone for watching and do share the video. Bye. See you.